going to show off 4 fantastic new releases from independent brands you should be looking at. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. And today it's one of those fantastic, exciting shows where I get to show off not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 pretty newly released watches from independent companies that I already have recommended to you guys. Now I've got a field watch, a dive watch, a pilot's watch, and a dress watch. You what? I know, not usually my cup of tea. We've got 2 under £1,000 and 2 over £1,000. And for me, these are some of the hottest watches right now I feel you should take a look at. Are you hot watches ready? Let's go. Right, let's start with the field watch, shall we? And it's from one of my favourite Swiss independent watch brands, Formex. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Field Automatic Gen 2. And look at this thing, what presence it has. For me, even though it is a field watch and the dial does somewhat resemble a field watch, this to me looks like a perfect all day, everyday companion that you are going to get noticeable looks walking about in your local high street. Now, there aren't many modern field watches I like. The ones I do like tend to be sort of vintage inspired, but Formex seems to do a fantastic job of pulling me in with a modern look. Now the case is made of grade 2 titanium and is hardened to 900 Vickers.
That's a lot of Vickers.
The head of the watch only weighs 54 grams. And in the past I have had a funny thing with titanium, being that I feel it's too light, but with a field watch it does make sense. You want it light on the wrist, as you're going to be wearing this a lot. Now at the start I said this was the Gen 2. Formex have revamped their dials, giving it a more dynamic look with texture and depth. This is the Coho Salmon dial. I just think it was such a good pairing with that dark grey titanium look, and the brand sent me this watch in this really soft suede leather strap, which also just works so well. We've got a screw down crown and screw down case back, giving this watch 150 meters water resistant, which you don't hear me say that often with a field watch. Inside this baby is a Sellita SW200-1, sweeping away at 28,800 beats per hour, and it has allowed this watch to be very thin, only 10.6 millimeters thick. Now the case is a modern contemporary size at 40 millimeters, which is why I'm leaning more to this watch being an everyday one and not just a niche down field watch. Protecting the dial is a sapphire glass, and because the crown is also titanium, so there's no polishing on this, it makes for the operating of it absolutely phenomenal. One of, if not the best crown I have twisted this year. It all makes for a phenomenal package. Now if you was to buy this watch with the Velcro straps, it's going to cost you £780. On this beautiful soft supple leather strap, it's going to be £890. Overall, a phenomenal watch that has changed my mind on a modern day field watch. This is probably my favourite one. Formex is definitely a brand you need to take a look at because they offer so much for your money compared to the Swiss big boys. Next up, a watch I'm very lucky to get my hands on because there weren't many of these made, only 50 pieces. Now, if you're a regular to the channel, you will know that I am a big fan of Vertex, probably my favourite independent watch company. They are based in the UK, but their watches are Swiss made. Now, I am an owner of the M60 Lion, an absolutely phenomenal dive watch that hand on heart would take over a Seamaster 300 Professional any day of the week. But a few months ago, Vertex did something they had never done before. They gave us a bit of colour. Yes, this is the M60 Lion Taormina. It's giving homage to the free diving heritage that has taken place in the depths of Taormina, Sicily for the last 60 years. This colour blue is to represent that beautiful, crisp blue of the ocean. It is slightly reminiscent to the Tudor Pelagos, but just a bit deeper blue. Have to say, it absolutely transforms the look, turns the M60 into an absolute summer watch, the blue of the dial and the matte ceramic insert just makes you feel good, makes you smile, and I think it's a home run for Vertex. Now, I wouldn't say that this is a small watch. It's 40 millimeters in diameter, it's 14 millimeters thick, 48.9 lug to lug, but a very strapaholic lug width of 20 millimeters. Now, the reason for its girth comes in its water resistance. It has an ISO rating 6425 certification of being able to go 600 meters down. Now, if us as humans were to go down 600 meters, we would be brown bread. But this one wouldn't. We've got a beautifully high-grade sapphire glass with anti-reflective coating, and take a look at the crown and bezel grip, because that knurling is inspired by the sight adjustment mechanism on the Bren light machine gun. How cool is that? And I can see why the machine gun had it, because, wow, this is a show for crowns, I'm telling you, this week. The operating of the crown is amazing, and twisting this 60 click unidirectional bezel, oh my word, wow. I forgot how good this was. Just proper tooly, workmanlike. Have a listen. Ah. Screw down crown, screw down case back, and take a look at the dial, because this is Vertex signature look. The indices and markers are actually blocks of X1 Superluminova, which means the legibility in the nighttime is almost unrivaled. Just the perfect look and legibility for a dive watch that goes 600 meters. We got a nice clasp with a fold over security. There's no micro adjust on the clasp, just a diver extension. Maybe something that Vertex takes a look at to update this bracelet, maybe in the future. Probably would like the tapering down just that little bit more at the clasp. It's one of the reasons I like wearing mine with the rubber strap. But this watch not only comes with this bracelet, but you get their beautiful FKM rubber and a Zulu Alpha nylon strap. And plus, a great awesome Pelly case. To buy this limited edition Taormina M60, it's going to cost you £2,940. As I said, there were only 50 pieces made. I think there's around 7 left. But listen, if you want a proper, capable dive watch from a brand that has great history and is made using the best materials and components Swiss money can buy, the Aqua Lion, which is a cool name, isn't it, is the perfect partner for you. Go Vertex!
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Now, recently, I took a fantastic trip to Germany to go see the guys at Hanhart, a brand that has been around since the 1800s, made a big name for themselves back in the 1920s when they started offering affordable and accurate stopwatches. From that moment on, they were known as the Chronograph company. In the 30s, they made Chronograph pilot's watches. They continued to do that. Post-war, I have the amazing 417 ES Flyback, one of my favorite watches I own. But while I was in Germany, Hanhart released a couple of watches, and it was on their 415 ES line. Now, this is a chronograph with a bi-directional bezel. The watch first came out in the 1960s, and these reissues have been simplified and made more striking and have a bit more of a modern look to them. Here we have the Panda and the reverse Panda. Like the Vertex M60, we have an insert in the bezel that is matte ceramic, and that matte color is beautifully matched with the black dial. But this contemporary looking 415 definitely has a Zin inspirational look, but at the end of the day, it's still 100% Hanhart. I love what they've done with the logo. They've gone for the 60s winged design. That's a really nice touch. And the case finishing of this watch is, wow, I knew it would be good. It is just as good as my Flyback. Now, this is the first time I've handled a Hanhart bracelet, and it is just as I thought it would be. Proper German engineering. The links are solid and screwed. Solid end links. Twin button deployant. Milled clasp. We do have on-the-fly adjustments to about 3-4 millimeters, which is phenomenal. Just what you'd expect from this company. The crown at 3 o'clock is not screw in, nor are the piston pushers, but the watch is water resistant to 100 meters. It is a 60 click bi-directional bezel, and it is very nice. a nice push feeling to it. The subdials are beautifully made with the concentric circles. The loom on this watch is phenomenal. Now I know what goes into one of these watches. I know how this gets made, assembled, tested, and then sent to the customer. Hanhart pride themselves on the quality control. For me, it has great sizes, very similar to my 417, 39 millimeters, 13.5 thick, only 46 lug to lug, and a very strapaholic 20 millimeter lug width. If I had the choice of the two, it probably would be the Panda, as this is a little bit similar to my 417. However, there are enough differences with the logo change, the bi-directional 60-click matte ceramic bezel. They are fantastic watches. Get on Hanhart's website, take a look at these watches and the other fantastic chronographs and few watches they have on offer.
Get your watch out.
Finally, we come to a style of watch I just don't go for usually. The dress watch. Usually because I'm not in any dress attire ever. I mean, I've been known to wear Nikes at a wedding. But when I saw this watch and the fact it's a Mark II of a watch that this company already does, I was really impressed and I needed to get one in to show you lot. Now, if you haven't heard of the brand Maen yet, where have you been? They are a Dutch independent watchmaker that make absolutely phenomenal Swiss-made watches inspired by the 30s, 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s luxury brands. Now, I've handled their watches before and the quality of them, it's brilliant. Anyway, they have a line called the Manhattan. Now it is very, it's close to the bone, reminiscent to the Patek Philippe Nautilus. The funny thing is though, Patek released the Cubitus and that looks a lot like this watch. This is the Manhattan 37mm ultra thin. Now what they've managed to do with this Mark II version is reduce the thickness by 24%, making it an ultra refined and luxurious wear on your wrist. What I also love about this Mark II is the textured dials, inspired by those Tuscan dials of the 90s, apparently. But the thickness is all down to the choice in movement. In this bad boy now, we have an ETA 7001. Still sweeps away at 28,800 beats per hour, but it's only 7.1 millimeters thick. It is manual wind, has a beautiful case back showing that manual wind caliber off. And even though it's so thin and we don't have a screw down crown, this watch is water resistant to 100 meters. That will give you peace of mind to wear this watch in any situation you give it. The bracelet, well, it's beautifully engineered. The articulation on the links are lovely. Big screws in them. This will be easy to resize. In actual fact, it was easy to resize as I did it for the review. We've got a butterfly clasp, milled. I don't think I've ever seen something this refined for under £1,000. If a brand in the Swatch group came out with this watch, the chances of it being under £2,000 would be very slim. Beautiful flat piece of sapphire glass with AR coating. Such a good looking piece. It is close to the bone of being a clomage. That's the word. It's not nice to use it on this watch, but yes, I would have loved the crown to have not been that bolt like Gerald Genta's design. But wow, if I saw someone wearing this, I would definitely look twice. It's a very well made dress watch. I don't show you too many dress watches, do I? But when they're that good and under £1,000 and that thin, I've got to talk about it. Get on Maen's website in the description below, as they have phenomenal designs. And if you like vintage inspiration to your watches, well, Maen could be your next favourite watch brand. So there we go, a watch for every occasion. We had the land, the sea, the air, and the, just in case I go to a wedding or two. Just a tiny snippet of showing you just how good watches are outside of the big boy brands. We don't always have to look at them, do we? Yes, we get the comfort of the big corporations like your Seikos, your Hamiltons, you know, your Longines. But for all those out there that say that the watch market is dying or dead, lacking creativity, let me tell you, it ain't. There is a lot to be excited about in the watch hobby, and I hope this has perked you up a bit, you know, it has me. Oh wait, what's the next segment? Here it is, my wife's opinions on all 4 watches. Are we ready for this? First of all, the Formex Field Automatic. I quite like this. The dial colour is striking. I like the case. It feels a bit light though. And I like the strap. The Aqualion. Well, you know I like Vertex. It's not my favourite of theirs, but I do like the colour of the blue. It's a bit bulky for me. Next up, the Hanhart 415. Yes, I quite like this. The face is not busy and it looks nice and classic looking. Next up, the Maen 37 Ultra Thin. I actually quite like this. Really nice face, really slim. It's nice. Yeah! Should I do the lottery today? 4 watches in a row that the wife likes. Maybe not like enough that I can buy them or she would buy them, but she approves on all 4. Listen, this does not happen that often. Need some time to reflect. Thank you so much to all these brands. There is a link to their website and these specific watches for you to peruse with your heart's content. But the reason why I talk about these brands so often is because they truly do make darn good watches. And I'm not someone just to give you content for content's sake. Because sometimes, just sometimes, the watches from those big brands can make you feel a bit meh. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want to support the Mad Watch Collector channel, we've got a Patreon now. See the shows early, see blooper reels, behind the scenes content, and get your name credited at the end of every show, like this lovely lot. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, and I hope I do, why don't you click this? This is good. This is good. I mean, it's better than good. It's come from the Mad Watch Collector. It's great, isn't it? Go on, you'll love it. Click it. Come on. Haven't got all day. Click it.